Because of Jessica Carter's bullying, I lost the chance to become a mother. Yet, this despicable person faced no consequences and even took away my first love, Michael Smith. 10 years later, I became a teacher at a prestigious school, and their daughter ended up in my class. Seeing that same malicious look on her face as her mother's, I knew the time for retribution had come. My name is Emily Johnson, and my class has the highest graduation rate in the city and even the province, bar none. Moreover, as an elite school with international collaborations, our class has 2 highly coveted spots for direct admission to top overseas universities. Getting into Ms. Johnson's class is like having 1 foot in the door of the elite circles, many parents say. As a result, countless students vie to get in every year, with some resorting to underhanded means. Rebecca Carter and her daughter Lily Smith were among them.
Emily, there's a student I want to place in your class. Her grandfather is our school's biggest benefactor.
I frowned upon hearing this. I had seen too many privileged kids getting in through connections and was inclined to refuse. However, when I saw the names of her parents on the roster, I froze. Michael Smith and Rebecca Carter. These 2 unforgettable names appeared before my eyes, and I instinctively touched my abdomen, feeling a scar as hideous as a centipede. I could never forget how Rebecca Carter, accompanied by some thugs, dragged me to the girls' restroom, beat me up, forced me to drink dirty water, and even cut my arm with a knife. All because Michael liked me, and she liked Michael, but he didn't like her. Michael was my first love in high school. Our relationship was secretive and innocent, a bright rainbow in those gloomy high school days. Until Rebecca Carter came along. When I returned to school with my battered body, I was immediately met with strange looks from others. At the same time, I heard rumors about me being a homewrecker, having a termination, and being beaten by the wife. Sure enough, when the rumors reached Michael, his face changed instantly. My family tried to seek justice for me, but it was brushed off with a casual "she has depression," making me feel the darkness of human nature for the first time. One night, lying in a hospital bed, I saw on social media that Michael and Rebecca had made their relationship public. He posted 2 photos, one of him kneeling to propose to Rebecca, and another of them holding hands, with the caption, "You will always be my moonlight." She was the moonlight, so what was I? A muddy ditch? At that moment, my heart completely died. Shortly after, I transferred schools and moved to another city with my family, leaving that place of heartbreak behind. I thought I would never see those 2 again, but fate had a different plan. One night, lying in a hospital bed, I saw on social media that Michael and Rebecca had made their relationship public. He posted 2 photos, one of him kneeling to propose to Rebecca, and another of them holding hands, with the caption, "You will always be my moonlight."
She was the moonlight, so what was I? A muddy ditch?
At that moment, my heart completely died. Shortly after, I transferred schools and moved to another city with my family, leaving that place of heartbreak behind. I thought I would never see those 2 again, but fate had a different plan. One night, lying in a hospital bed, I saw on social media that Michael and Rebecca had made their relationship public. He posted 2 photos, one of him kneeling to propose to Rebecca, and another of them holding hands, with the caption, "You will always be my moonlight." She was the moonlight, so what was I? A muddy ditch? At that moment, my heart completely died. Shortly after, I transferred schools and moved to another city with my family, leaving that place of heartbreak behind. I thought I would never see those 2 again, but fate had a different plan. One night, lying in a hospital bed, I saw on social media that Michael and Rebecca had made their relationship public. He posted 2 photos, one of him kneeling to propose to Rebecca, and another of them holding hands, with the caption, "You will always be my moonlight." She was the moonlight, so what was I? A muddy ditch? At that moment, my heart completely died. Shortly after, I transferred schools and moved to another city with my family, leaving that place of heartbreak behind. I thought I would never see those 2 again, but fate had a different plan. The latter shivered and lowered her head, not daring to meet my eyes.
Lily Smith, haven't you always wanted to perform? Now's your chance, go ahead.
Hi.
Lily trembled as she took the accordion, but she didn't move for a long time, her smile more like a grimace.
What's wrong? Hurry up and play, everyone is waiting.
However, Lily just shivered and refused to start. The other band members also noticed something was wrong and urged her to begin, not wanting to waste time.
I can't do it!
Lily suddenly broke down, standing up to leave, but I grabbed her hand.
Practicing so well, why leave suddenly? Is there something wrong with the accordion?
I sneered and threw the accordion to the ground. Bang! The moment the accordion hit the ground, several sharp blades sprang out, and the room fell silent. Everyone's eyes were on Lily, whose face turned pale as she looked at me in disbelief. Soon, Michael Smith rushed to the school in a panic.
Emily, this must be a misunderstanding. Lily is a good girl, she's not like that.
First, don't call me Emily, call me Ms. Johnson.
I shook my head.
Second, I don't know what kind of person your daughter is, but I have a video.
I showed him the video I had taken earlier, and his face visibly darkened. After watching the video, he was silent for a long time, then sighed.
It can't be Lily's fault. It must be that girl who did something terrible, and Lily had no choice but to retaliate this way.
I looked at him in disbelief and shook my head.
Turning black into white, double standards to this extent. Michael, you're just the same as you were back then.
Emily, can't you let go of what happened back then?
Michael raised his voice, sounding frustrated.
I asked Rebecca, she said she just spread some rumors about you being kept, just a small thing. So many years have passed, can't you move on?
A small thing?
I laughed in anger and lifted my shirt to reveal the hideous scars on my stomach.
Ask your moonlight who caused these scars on me. Ask her who spread the rumors that forced me to transfer schools and leave my original city. Ask her what she did when she dragged me into the restroom back then. Ask her why I chose to be a teacher instead of having my own child.
Michael, remember, I said I would never forgive her in this lifetime. Just because time has passed doesn't mean I've forgotten.
Michael was stunned, shaking his head in disbelief.
This can't be true. If it were, why didn't you tell me back then?
Would you have believed me if I had told you?
I looked into his eyes and spoke each word clearly. Michael fell silent.
Forget it, let's not talk about the past. Today, Lily was indeed wrong. I'll educate her properly when we get home. Ms. Johnson, I'll leave now.
Michael lowered his head, not daring to look at me, and left in a hurry. I watched his departing figure, and the last bit of warmth I had for the past disappeared from my eyes. The next day, Lily Smith reluctantly found Samantha Williams to apologize and then quit the band. Just when I thought she would behave, Lily appeared in my office, closed the door, and began undressing without a word.
What are you doing?
I watched her coldly, thinking, I'm not a man, are you planning to accuse me of harassment? Suddenly, Lily started screaming.
Help! Miss Johnson is hitting me. Stop! Help!
She screamed hysterically, tears and snot streaming down her face. It was then that I noticed the alarming bruises on her body. The next second, Jessica Carter appeared at the door as if she had planned it.
How dare you hit my daughter? I'm going to report you to the principal and call the police to have you arrested. Emily Johnson, don't think I don't know, your office doesn't have cameras.
I watched their performance with a cold eye, as other teachers and the principal were drawn to the commotion, frowning in disbelief. Was this a ploy to gain sympathy? Once the crowd had gathered, Jessica began her act.
She exaggerated past events, painting me as a heinous bully. When she was almost done, I waved to a man in the crowd.
Honey, did you get all that on video?
Don't worry, I got it all. Quite the show.
Jessica and Lily were stunned. They hadn't expected that my husband would come to bring me lunch every day. And just as Lily entered the room, William was in the staff area next door heating up my lunch. William, unlike me, wasn't one to be trifled with. He walked up to Jessica and began mocking her.
Do you realize you look like a clown right now?
What are you so smug about? You're just a useless person who can't even have kids.
So what? And what are you? You gave birth to a wild dog that bites everyone?
Jessica was speechless with rage. She tried to flee with Lily, but the school security wouldn't let her go easily. In the end, Jessica was detained for causing trouble, and Lily was expelled from the honors class. From then on, she avoided me whenever she saw me. However, the matter was far from over. In the following days, I often felt someone watching me on my way home, making me uneasy. I told William about it when I got home, and he frowned, looking worried.
Is it Jessica again? Do you want me to take care of it?
No need, I know what she's up to.
In fact, I had heard that after Jessica got out of detention, she had a huge fight with Michael Smith, and they were on the verge of divorce. Given Jessica's personality, she would likely vent her anger on me, but this also gave me a chance for revenge. Like fishing, now that the fish was hooked, all I had to do was wait for her to take the bait.
One night, lying in a hospital bed, I saw on social media that Michael and Rebecca had made their relationship public. He posted 2 photos, one of him kneeling to propose to Rebecca, and another of them holding hands, with the caption, "You will always be my moonlight."
She was the moonlight, so what was I? A muddy ditch? At that moment, my heart completely died. Shortly after, I transferred schools and moved to another city with my family, leaving that place of heartbreak behind. I thought I would never see those 2 again, but fate had a different plan.